Welcome to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse?
With your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. Thank you for joining us on the Horse Talk Show this week, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton, special guest co-host in the studio this week, my dear friend and neighbour, Gail Rice.
Hi, neighbour.
It's good to have you back with us.
It's always fun.
It seemed appropriate to have her here this week because she, won everything last
Just
night.
Just a couple.
Mm-hmm. She won everything at the FTBOA, the Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association Awards last night at the gala. I can tell you I was sitting there crying between cheering and wanting to be the person to stand up and do the standing ovation because she's amazing. And look at that, Needles Award 2021.
There it is.
For those of you who don't know but should know, Needles was the first Florida bred to win the Kentucky Derby, and the award, the Needles Award, is named after him. Came from the Bonnie Heath farm, and it's a great honour to win that. It's a big deal, and
It's my second.
it's your second.
I won it last year too for speech.
Oh, that's right, you did. Some people
Yes.
just don't ever win it once in
Yes.
a lifetime, Gail. 2 years running, look at that.
Yes. Oh,
Cute
wow.
is that?
We took all the chrome home.
Yes, and there we were trying
bronzes.
to hold the award, and
Yes.
it was heavy.
It was
I'm not
very
gonna
heavy.
Lie, it was.
I needed help
heavy.
getting them off stage.
I'm not surprised. Those were some solid. Look at that.
There we are. Look at it.
I know, isn't that fantastic? Oh,
It was
how
a
did
great night.
How did it feel? Oh, I've
I
actually
was
got
like,
this. I can see how it felt.
Oh, it was, yes. It was so exciting. And to get it from Bonnie Heath, whose family owned Needles, bred and raised him, that was
And
special.
Nick
And Nick
Demerick,
Demerick
who
was
is-
there.
Yes.
And there's my horse running on the stake races that he won this year. It was quite a year.
It was an
And I have
amazing year.
goosebumps thinking, just feeling it again.
I know, right?
Anytime I talk
watching
about
it.
this horse, it just affects me. And people say that, even on Twitter and in person, they'll tell me, this horse made a difference in my life. I'm like, really?
Yeah, he gave people a chance. So
Yes.
for those that don't know, he was actually sold at a difficult time in Gail's life when she had to make some decisions and fairly quickly. And he was not a standout to people at the sale at that time. Pedigree was not a really, really well-known one. And he kind of got bypassed a little bit.
Physically,
yes.
good racehorse. On paper, not a pinhooker's dream.
No. And Christy Whitman picked him up, saw a lot of potential. Well done, Christy Whitman.
Yes.
Gail gave you several shout-outs last night, and you certainly
She did a
deserved
great
them.
job.
Yes, she did a great job with him, and bought him for $1,000, which is a little bit of a dream come true for, gosh, you can't buy a backyard trail horse for $1,000. So
No.
picking up a Derby winner for $1,000 is pretty good. And Christy did a great job getting him all prepared and ready to go off to start his career, which he did very well, and proved himself over and over again in some of the best stakes races in the country. And out of just, there's Tom DeCillo and Laura
There you
DeCillo
go.
from Piranha sitting next to Mayor Kent
It was so
Quinn.
nice to see them there.
I know, they're lovely.
There we are.
Yes, and there's the three of you. That's a lovely photo. And just he just had an amazing career, and then of course he won the Derby, which was huge, and ran in just an amazing race. There's Tammy Bobo and Nick Temerick. Tammy Bobo, who's got the Florida bred in the Kentucky Derby herself this year, so very fitting.
And my son-in-law's riding him.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. It just keeps going around and
family,
around.
Keeping it in the family.
Yes, because that's right. Jose, your son-in-law,
yes,
married to your daughter, is riding Simplification.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you really need to be there. So
I don't know who IRAD is riding. The list isn't out yet, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either, but I did hear somebody mention he was riding. Who's he riding? I can't remember. We'll have to Google that.
I don't know.
But I think he was possibly
one or two. But it's not
one
classic Causeway.
So what do you think about this Derby? Do you have a favourite? Simplification?
Well, I have to root for Simplification
yes,
because he's family, but I also have family in Zedon Racing because he told me I'm a member of their family. And it's our boy. It's not his boy, Medina Spirit, our boy. So I really hope that Amr can kick their butts again this year.
With Taiba.
With Taiba.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because we did some pre-interviews with Steve Haskin today for the week of the Derby. And I can't tell you everything he said, but you better tune in next week because it's really, really funny.
I'm going to listen.
He says that he doesn't know how Churchill Downs would feel about giving Amar Zidane the Derby trophy.
The blanket of roses and the Derby trophy.
It would be sort of fitting, wouldn't it?
It would be very redeeming.
Yes. We need the disclaimer, Judy.
These are only our opinions?
Yes, just our opinion. But he did mention that he thought that Churchill Downs might not like to go out and give Mr. Zidane the Derby trophy this year again.
You know.
I said, that's kind of funny.
Yes.
But congratulations to you, because last night was amazing.
It was very
deserved every bit of that. That is a labour of love. That's a lot of hard work.
Thank you so much.
You pulled out an amazing horse. Mm-hmm. And you gave him an amazing start, and then Christy Whitman went on and made him brilliant, and then Bob made him brilliant, and Humberto Gomez, who rode him, made him brilliant.
Oh, what a great job they did with that horse.
They did.
And they loved that horse like family.
Yes, he was.
And you could feel it when we were in the barn.
Yeah, he was special.
Courtesy of Louisa. We got to the barn to pet my horse.
Yeah.
Let him bite us, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and bite my microphone.
Yeah.
It was very sad that we lost him towards the end of last year. Of course, we were all devastated. Mm-hmm. I will never forget that the guy who is a dear friend of mine who played Ronnie Turcotte in the Secretariat movie, Otto, actually was the one who texted me and said, "Is it true about Medina?" And my heart just sunk. Mm-hmm. And that was when I called you, and I just was...
It was shocking. It was unbelievable.
Yes, it really was.
I didn't believe it, and it's still, to this day, it's like you just want to go see him. It's like a family member.
Exactly. And old friends. Oh, yes, I mustn't forget to pop up this. The Ocala-Marion County Connections to the 148th Kentucky Derby, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. We will be covering all of the connections to Ocala and Marion County that made it to the Derby again this year, because we don't think they get nearly as much glory as they should. Mm-hmm. And we want to also thank Seminole Feed Stores, Showcase Properties of Central Florida, the Equine, the CEP for helping us be there, and Equus Television for airing our special Derby coverage, which will be focused on Florida breds and Florida connections. So we'll have Tammy Bobo and Simplification. We'll have Susan Montagna
wait to see her hat.
with the cyber knife. Oh, she's borrowing one from me.
Here we go again. This is the trend.
It's becoming a trend, yes. And we'll be, we're going to try and catch Tristan Merrick as well, who started Simplification before Tammy bought him. And we're also going to bring you the really, really cool story of the Ortiz family, which is an amazing, amazing story. They're great people. And so we're going to be bringing you lots of good stuff that's connected to the Ocala-Marion County area and give those people all the glory. So that was the horse whinny, which means that we're ended this segment. We're going to have Dr. Cayot. And then I'm going to talk Gail into co-hosting with me to talk to a polo player because I'm scared of them. No, I'm just kidding.
I got your back, girl.
We'll be back in just a few minutes on the Horse Talk Show. Congratulations to Gail Rice.
Thank
Lots
you.
of awards. Yeah. Standing ovation. We'll be right back.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. And I have Dr. Adam Cayot with us, and we're going to chat about a couple of topics. A short one to start with, and that is what you should have in your barn in preparation for colic, something unfortunately that, as Dr. Cayot said, most of us that have horses are going to experience at some point. So what should we have, what should we have and be prepared with for a colic? And if you're not sure if it's a colic or not, should you just go ahead and give those things and be ready just in case? And if the horse is uncomfortable, why not, right?
Well, I would say that you probably shouldn't just give it, if you think that's what it is. Probably should talk to your vet first and get the okay to do that. But probably the two main things to have, number one being Banamine, which is the trade name. Flunixin megalamine is the actual drug. Yes. Okay, Banamine's a trade name. That's awesome to have on board.
It's so good to know what the bottle actually says, because it doesn't say Banamine. Good point.
Yeah. So that, and then xylazine, is the other, which is a sedative. So those are the two main things that owners could have. Certainly most owners have Banamine on hand, and they keep it on hand. It certainly helps because as veterinarians, we can't just be there automatically. It can't be everywhere. We don't have lights on the top of our trucks. The state of Florida doesn't consider your colic.
I'm gonna make that change immediately.
We had one of our vets got pulled over years ago, and that was the excuse given for speeding. And the highway patrolman said, "Well, if the state of Florida thought it was an emergency, he'd put lights on top of your truck." So they got.
We need to sort that out.
Yeah. So anyway, side point. So if you have a Banamine, you can give that, and certainly some sedative that can help. And a lot of times that will take care of the problem. They just relax. They're able to pass whatever might be hurting them at that time, and the vet might not have to come out. So those are the two things: Banamine and some xylazine.
So if you're fairly confident it's colic, you've talked to the vet, and the vet says, it sounds like colic.
Do this and give it 45 minutes and let me know what the horse is looking like. So it can prevent an emergency call and further expense. Certainly.
Also a good idea to watch for a bowel movement, because if you see the horse have one, that can be very helpful information.
Yeah, that's good, but that's not necessarily they have a big long intestine. It might be something in front of that just because they poo doesn't necessarily mean you're out of the woods, but certainly any information that you can gain is good.
So for springtime, certainly start thinking about the return of the nasty mosquitoes, especially here in Florida. Got to start thinking about some of the vaccines that are really important. We're also in the middle of show season at this time of year, so we have concerns about EHV, obviously, something that we do see sometimes at some of the showgrounds as horses migrate. What do you recommend in the spring for the horses to have?
Well, here in Florida, I don't necessarily go spring and fall. It's whatever they had 6 months prior. So down here,
I try to do the spring and fall. Helps me remember.
It helps people remember, but basically we try to vaccinate every 6 months, whether that's summer and winter or whether that's spring and fall or however that falls. We try to do it twice a year down here. The number one things that are bad for your horse are the mosquito-borne encephalitides. So that's Eastern encephalitis, Western encephalitis, West Nile virus. Those all can cause neurologic problems. Eastern encephalitis is basically 100% fatal if they get that, and the vaccine is amazingly effective against that. So it's effective against all those things. So usually at the springtime or whenever, and your 6-month interval, they always get the encephalidity vaccines, which tends to include tetanus in that. Plus, I give flu rhino. So influenza is your flu. Rhino is your EHV 1 and 4. So that's herpes virus 1 and 4. Those viruses typically just cause respiratory issues. However, there's a neurologic component to those, and those are the ones that end up getting scary, and some horses don't make it through that. The vaccine doesn't necessarily prevent your horse from getting it. However, if your horse does come in contact with it, they're less likely to have a dramatic event, a full-blown case, and typically they get over it. horses, you know, we as far as EHV, since we're on that topic, it's very similar to COVID. Okay, so horses can carry it a lot and be symptomatic shedders. So they have it in their system. They aren't sick, but they're shedding it. And so when you have horses congregated in a small space, in a show barn, in a boarding stable, any of those things, you might have Blaze down there that's shedding it to all of his friends, and Blaze is doing just fine. So that's why when you have a horse that's in a concentrated space of other horses, it's very important to have that on board. And I always tell people, I said it's never a problem until it's a problem. If you want to skip your vaccines, then, you know, just buyer beware, so to speak, because, you know, you might get lucky and never have an issue, and you weren't necessarily very prompt on vaccinating your horse, but that one time that it happens, you're going to be, you know, kick yourself in the rear end. So
and they're not terribly expensive investments. It's quite worthwhile.
No. They're a lot less expensive than a new horse or vet bills to treat after and all that stuff. So prevention goes a long way. Lastly, rabies. Spoke about that on the show earlier. Rabies is not good in horses. We always have a case in a wild animal in Marion County at least once or twice a year, and it's cheap. The rabies vaccine in horses is only once a year. We do not do like we do in dogs and cats, where you do 3 years or whatever it is. I don't even know the protocol in dogs and cats, but I know it can be longer than the year. It's once a year in horses, and you know,
so worth it.
So worth it. Yeah,
it only
absolutely.
takes one wild animal to run through your field
and bite your horse, and then you got problems.
Yes.
So and you know, it's bad because your horse then can transmit it to you. Right? Any bodily fluid can carry the rabies virus, and it can be transmitted to you. So it's one of those zoonotic diseases that we've talked about before.
And your thoughts on Strangles?
Hope that you don't get involved with it. I mean, there's a vaccine out there, and I'm probably not a big proponent of doing the Strangles vaccine, but certainly it's available in the site of an outbreak. I suggest that you do it. But you know, if you're getting horses coming in and out, it's always good to quarantine for 14 days, put that horse somewhere else just to make sure, because, you know, we do have outbreaks every once in a while, and they can be a big problem.
Yeah, I can't remember having one in quite some time. So
there's one right now.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
So for show horses, it's more important, or horses that are sharing water on the trail, things like that?
You know, Strangles is transmitted by the discharge and nose-to-nose contact and that sort of thing. And, you know, if they have discharge that's on a bucket or whatever, and they're sharing that sort of thing. So, you know, any spot where horses are congregated together, boarding stable, show stable, touching noses across the fence, whatever, that the Strangles can be transmitted that way.
They're not one that you necessarily recommend for everybody all the time.
No, honestly, I don't, not all the time. But certainly if you know your horse is going to be in that environment, it's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So vaccines, get them twice a year. If you're like me and you have short-term memory loss for some reason, then spring and fall works great for me. So Louisa Barton here with Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and Larson Hay, our broadcast and television sponsor, plus supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and the Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Louisville.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton. I have a superstar here in the studio with me, Gail Rice. She won everything last night at the FTVOA. Really proud of her. Lovely
I should have brought something here to put on the table.
You should have brought all three of them.
I didn't even think about that.
So I could covet them.
Yes. But I might not have been able to take them home again.
I know, you're right. And then we have a special guest who's never been on the show before. I'm going to try and pronounce his name. Cuko? Help me.
Escapite.
Escapite. See, I can't say that. You can. You're good.
We only practice for
Cuko
2 hours.
Escapite. I know, right before. So Cuko, as a polo player.
Yes, ma'am.
Been a polo player for a long time. Funny laugh before we actually started the show. Gigi thought that maybe his first name might mean Boogeyman.
Well, I guess it could be. I mean,
Cuko?
It all depends.
It could be Boogeyman. So tell us a little bit about your background, where you grew up, when you first started riding, and then kind of take us down the polo road and tell us how you ended up playing polo.
Well, I was born in Juarez, Mexico, which is a border town. I ride, I guess, as far as I can remember, maybe 4 years old, 5. And I started playing polo late in my life, later. I mean, not like maybe at 20 years old.
Late?
That's very late for the sport, yes.
Okay.
Ma'am. So somebody
Didn't know
just
that.
picked me up and say, hey, you can go, you can do. So so right the next year I came to Palm Beach to try out, and I stayed since then. I haven't been back. I mean, I go back to visit, but I used to gallop racehorses. I used to gallop for my uncles. I used to gallop quarter horse racehorses.
Ooh, that's fun.
No, that's not fun. That's very scary when you're a kid, because back home they strap you. It's like
No.
Yes, it's like
They
an
strap
overgird.
you?
Yeah, you're strapped
And
to the horse.
you're tied on so you don't
yes,
come off.
so you don't come off.
But I mean, one
So you
leg
put
on both
rocks in your
sides is what I
pockets.
was ever told. One leg on both sides, you just go.
I know, but it's
Turn left.
It's nevertheless. I gotta remind you, this is Mexico,
We didn't
right?
strap
So the
'em
dogs
on.
are loose, and we have to walk like a mile
Oh,
to
man.
an old river bank, and the dogs come.
Yes.
And I mean, every morning I remember just coming crying to my dad, and
don't
he
wanna
would tell
do
me,
it.
"Don't be a,"
Yeah.
And
A little kitty cat.
which we're losing, which we're losing that a little bit because now I think we go and baby kids a little bit, but
Oh, yeah.
but I remember just I don't want to do this anymore. And then next day it's like, okay, 5 a.m, you get on 2 before you go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was my riding background. Basically, I could ride anything with horse, with hair, and eventually I ran into polo, and that's it. That's been my life for the last professionally 27 years.
Wow.
So I should retire, but I have too many divorces, so I have to keep working.
Sorry. It happens.
That's it, right? So
Don't do it again.
No, I don't think I could do it.
No.
But yeah, that's where my riding background comes, and I came to El Paso to obviously living in a border city, and then got invited to Palm Beach. I came try out, and then I just stayed. I mean, I go back and visit, but it was something. I think it was meant for me to do. I mean, I started making money right away. Back home. Back then, the minimum wage, it was like $1,000 a year, or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And here, like my first month, I made like...
They're going to pay you
back then,
a fortune to ride polo horses.
First month, I made like $17,000, and I remember just being like, yes.
Yes.
and,
Gold mine.
And I called my dad, and I'm like, I'm kicking butt, Like, then I broke my shoulder for the first time, right?
No. Oh, my.
And then you learn the ropes of dealing with injuries and seasons and seasonal jobs and long-term jobs and
right.
46 broken bones after, I can tell you that.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. I would show you all my scars, but
I can see them.
But
that was me worried about my few little ones.
Yes,
like,
but I'm afraid I'll be too
40
X-rated. But
something
that's one, anyways. So yes, and
Wow.
but it's a lifestyle. I never saw this as a job. I saw something that I would do anyways, regardless.
So you
One
might
of
as
my
well
kids
make
now
money,
plays.
right?
Yes, but it's like
it's not
I
a
don't feel
job
like
when you love it.
I don't feel like I work a day in my life. I should, because sometimes it's difficult, as you know, racing horses, breeding horses, playing horses. I mean, at a time I had to care about 130 horses and work.
Oh my.
To be able to do my whole year and the sponsors that come in, because I used to bring people from England, from Africa, like Nigeria, Senegal.
Oh my
and,
goodness.
So that's a lot of
Did
cost.
they bring their horses in?
No,
You
no.
had to supply them with horses here.
I came to the villages in 2008 with the management led by the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson. And
Oh my gosh.
And then Carlos Gracida, which was a Tango player, good friends of hers, like, you know all the gossip, as he became
Yeah.
Sexiest Man of the Year, like in the 80s, you know all the
Yeah.
gossip. Anyways, and Michael Brown and Bob Daniels. So Michael Brown is who started International Polo Club in Palm Beach for John Goodman. Bob Daniels was Pawn Express, which he died on the field a couple of years ago. Carlos Gracida died in the field 6 years ago as well.
Doing what they love.
So I ended up being just like, okay, you're by yourself. But I came here to the villages with that management. So we only worked for them for a couple of years, and I was fortunate enough to meet John Weiss, which he was the CFO of the villages for 35 years, I believe. He just retired a couple of years ago. And his lovely wife, Connie, and their son started traveling with me to upstate New York, to Saratoga Springs. I ran the club there for a few years. And then we go to Tennessee, we go to Texas, South Carolina, and then Palm Beach. So we've done it all. But it's a lot of horses, it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of work.
Yes.
Right now we're short on horses, we only have 36. We probably have to double that amount in the next 6 months or so.
Where do you get them?
Well,
Race horses.
I know. That's what I'm asking. I'm like, okay.
A lot of them are retired race horses. But it takes me kind of 2 years to have a race horse ready to really do.
Okay.
And keep their minds. And,
that's what I wondered.
So we're training right now 13. 6 race horses, 6 horses from bred to race, but they
never
race.
got to race. So you
Because
can
that
teach
makes
those
the difference.
easier, right?
It saves me about 6-7 months probably
so.
in the average.
Yes.
Regardless if the horse, you have to still go for I go for looks, like with the ladies, right? But then you have to go with performance too,
right?
Which I go for too.
Yes.
Might not be for this show.
On the horses, I was saying.
On the horses.
Yes.
Got it.
Performance on the horses.
So.
Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Yes.
You know what that means?
So it's like 10 seconds, right?
That means we have 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yes. But then we'll come back and carry on.
Okay.
Right from this spot.
Okay.
So hold that thought.
All right.
Gail and Cuko will be back on the Horse Talk Show in just a minute. Stay with us.
Right back.
Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com. The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
By popular demand.
By popular demand on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. That's the first time in maybe ever. I didn't know we were back on the second half. And
you missed her finger.
Oh!
There we are.
That was funny. So I'm here with like some superstars. I'm here with Gail Rice.
I think she's the superstar.
Absolutely.
No one knows me. And then I have Cuko here, who I just found out had the most. Tell me again. The most ever?
Goals.
Yes, goals in one match.
In one match.
Ever?
Yes.
How
Ever
many
in the world.
is that?
It's 21 in one match.
World record.
It is registered
How
pretty
did you
much.
do
Yeah.
that?
Right here in the villages.
In the villages.
You know, yeah. Yep.
So what would be like an average, say,
Like,
of goals?
for a player, it'd be like probably 6, 5.
Look there.
Yeah.
What are like typical scores for the whole game? Is it called it's a match, right?
Like 11, 10, 12, 10. I think
Okay.
I'd say that
It's
would be
about average.
That would be an average.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How did you pull that off? Were you just having a really good day?
You know what? I party a lot the night before.
He was very relaxed.
I think there was not a worry on my soul. You know.
See?
I just wanted to get
could
through it. I'm like,
focus.
hell, I just hit this
Yeah.
thing. You know, get rid hot potato. The ball out, and then the ball would go. There's Mary Lou Whitney right there, a great friend of mine.
I love Mary Lou.
Great friend of mine. I won
That's a
the
fantastic picture.
I won the Whitney Cup
Oh,
record
my
6 times
goodness.
in upstate New York. There you go, another one.
Yes,
There's Susan
and
Lucci in the
she's
back.
up there in
Susan Lucci,
Saratoga.
she used to
Susan
come-
Lucci.
Susan Lucci used to come all the time, and we hang out and drink, and
That is
get
so
a little
fabulous.
crazy over there. Yeah, great, dear friend of mine. I miss her. I miss
Yes.
her dearly.
Records fall.
And it's just like a golf game. I mean, you don't play against.
Yeah, but it's much more fun than golf. 'cause
Yes,
you're on a horse.
absolutely. In a lot of horses.
Yes.
So you play. That's Sonny Hill, my very good friend. This is probably like she passed away like 3 years ago. This is probably 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she and I came with this idea. Even though she created the women's polo league,
Mm-hmm.
she didn't like it because of all the politics. And I know I'm gonna make a lot of people mad because of it. But she told me like, Cuko, like the ladies are getting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So she and I came with the idea of playing Battle of the Sexes in upstate New York.
Oh, cool.
So we get a group. We level them even on handicaps, because we have handicaps in polo. And then we play ladies
never knew
against, and I would
that.
give her my horses, and I ride whatever I had left,
Mm-hmm.
and every time she beat me.
Oh.
And every time she beat me, and
And you didn't like that.
I loved it. I loved it.
great.
I'm a little bit of a masochist when it comes to
Yes.
that, because it was great for the sport, and it was a different way to showcase women's polo.
Mm-hmm. Bring more
Than
interest
just
to the
women
sport.
against women.
Right.
And then it gets complicated.
Mm-hmm.
It gets complicated. The league is growing. I think the fastest growing membership on the United States Polo Association is actually women, but not because they hadn't been there. It's just because they were not active as tournament players.
I see.
But she had a vision, and I follow with her. I back her up, and it was a fantastic time. It was a great time. She'll come stay with me at the house. We drink tons of beer, for days, and then we go and do this.
And have a tournament.
Yes, and at the end, that's what polo is. Is a lot of people think is a different thing, but it's just a wonderful sport that if you do it with the right people, it just becomes a lifestyle.
Yes.
Becomes something real fun to you, something that you're looking forward, regardless if you're an amateur or a professional. To me, I never gone to a polo field being mad. Every time I'm like, yes, we're gonna go and play polo.
Yes.
Every time. So
That's the love of your sport.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the bond with a bunch of horses, like the polo game, I would bring 12 for myself.
Oh wow.
And so you have to have that bond with your horses, with the people that work for you, with the players you're with.
Keep the rhythm, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's just a different sport. To me, it's the most complete horse sport there is. Think about running at a horse race speed, a racehorse speed, and
Chasing a little ball around.
30 some miles an hour, and then chasing a little ball that is like this and hitting it
From horseback.
and then making sure nobody else hits you on the side. Right?
Yeah. Those mallets, how heavy are those mallets?
Well, the mallets are not very, very heavy. They're probably 700 grams.
Okay.
But
How many pounds is that?
no,
Not
it's
sure.
just
Have to
half
Google
a pound
it.
or so.
Oh.
But
It's not that.
it's like
Not
it's
heavy.
like a pound, but they would ruin your elbow anyways.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
they
It is
would
a
really,
lot. Like
yeah.
I just got mine injected 2 weeks ago. Now I gotta go do a PRP, and it doesn't work.
PRP will fix you.
It doesn't work well. It's the second time I'm doing it, so I might have to have a little surgery. But I'm old, anyways.
No,
I'm 50.
That's not all.
That's not all.
That's young. Be quiet.
Still only halfway
So-
through its life.
So since we're speaking about things of such, I should probably tell you that I have a gift for you in here.
Oh God!
Actually,
Yes.
a couple of gifts for
I thought
you.
it was gonna
and
be.
actually, Gail,
I thought it was gonna be a
you're
beer
gonna
of some kind.
No, but it's
Oh.
better.
Oh,
So
okay. What is
that's,
this?
That is C4S daily. You can take one of those daily. I can get you some of those, and it will
Okay.
help your elbow a lot. And then this is for the horse.
Oh, good.
This
Can I
is
take that
Summit
too?
Joint Performance. Yes.
Give yourself a shot. You'll be all right.
That
Yeah, you're right.
Summit is for people and for dogs and for
Oh,
horses.
great.
Amazing stuff.
Well,
like amazing.
well,
and then I also
thank
have
you
a
very much.
piranha goodie bag for you.
Oh, good.
Which
Piranha's
really
the
like
best,
holding
aren't
up.
they?
Look.
It's beautiful.
Because it disappears.
It disappears.
And that's got all sorts of like really nice piranha goodies in
Oh,
here.
good. Well, thank you.
There's some Shine Baby Shine, so you can make your hair shine.
The little bit I have left.
You have plenty
Listen,
of hair.
I can blame it on the helmets, right?
Throw it away.
You can.
Your helmet
Yeah.
will never smell bad again.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's good stuff.
I don't have it. without hair, it won't. Thank
So that's
you.
your goodie bag.
Well, thank you.
So you have to have 12 horses for a match?
No, but I say you have a minimum of 8.
So
I just do a little over.
Well, how do like ordinary people who like? I mean, is
They
it
need
really,
that
really
many
expensive
horses.
to maintain enough horses to do the sport?
Well, you tell me. You feed horses.
It's expensive
It
to
is
feed
very
a horse.
expensive.
Yeah.
It is very expensive, and these horses are exercised twice a day.
They have to be fit
morning
enough.
and afternoon, yes.
Right?
People don't realize, like, if you think about a racehorse, it runs top, 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and there's plenty of heart attacks, and there's plenty of broken legs.
Yes.
So think what we do. We demand of a horse that was a racehorse.
I was going to ask you, how many
to
minutes?
stop, to turn.
Yes.
So in a happy world, like you want to play a horse 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then you have spares on each side of the field, right? You come and just hop to the other one and go. So you have 2 spares per half. So 6, 8, 10. That
Do you
makes it
ride
a
the
minimum
same
of
horse
10.
twice in the one match?
No,
or no. You can't.
No.
It's too hard on them.
That's a lot of horses.
So they have to be fit.
That's a lot of hay.
That's a lot.
A lot of hay, a lot of feed.
Yes. Yes.
Do you feed them more hay than grain? In comparison?
No, like in comparison, like to a racehorse, for
Yes.
example, the racehorse has like hay all day in front of him, right? No, we don't. We muscle them up. Like, so we feed in the morning, let's say, like 6 quarts of grain, which is a lot. It's less than you guys feed probably. And
It's
then
about
like a
similar,
good, I would say 12 pounds of hay. Just about, like saying maybe 10.
Right.
And then as soon as they get done, like you muscle them up so they cannot go and eat.
Okay.
We put a polo ball in the muscle in the front, like we screw it in, so they cannot really get down to the shavings and start digging
get
out
them
from
in
some
the
trash.
sides.
Really?
So in the afternoon the same, and then we wait in the afternoon. They eat probably 3-4 more pounds of hay a night, and then we still come and muscle again. So it's a lot.
I have more questions.
It's
for you.
a lot of work.
Gigi,
Yes.
is it okay if we do another segment? Because I really have got some more. Okay, good.
Okay.
That's good, because I've got more questions.
Okay.
So that sign noise was that we have to go to break, but we'll be back in just a minute with our guests.
We'll
Stay
be
with us.
right back.
There
was
you
good.
go.
I can't do that. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Center. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favorite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's Pyranha, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equegreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equegreen came to life. Equegreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
Sorry. Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, please do, at the Horse Talk Show. I think we'd like to get up there to that 30,000 likes, I think.
At least.
We need, I think 100,000 likes now? Would be good. 21, 22,000.
Oh,
very nice.
This'll do it.
We need a little more.
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, interestingly enough, 2023 will be 10 years since the Horse Talk Show started. And
wow.
A very funny quick story before we go back to polo is my very first show in yoga pants live.
No way.
Florida Sports Talk on a Saturday morning, before Facebook Live, before TV, before all that. And I was a wreck because Adam Reardon asked me to do the show. And I said, but about what? And he said, horses. And I said, duh. And I said, but I've never done a show, I've only done commercials. And he said, oh, you'll be fine, just do it, just do it.
Just do it.
So I just did it. But my first show was so nervous that I called Pat Pirelli, because I was quite good friends with him and knew him quite well. I said, Pat, I'd really like you to be on my first show. It'd really be an honour to have you on my first show, because I knew he would not stop talking for a whole hour and I wouldn't have to worry about anything. So all I had to do was take a breath at break time. Yeah. And then he'd come back and I was like, first show.
Done. Yeah. Got it.
So there, he saved me.
On the book.
There are people who can talk a lot. So anyway, that worked out. But anyway, 2023 will be 10 years since the Horse Talk Show.
Congratulations.
It'll be our 10-year anniversary. I can't believe it. Seems like...
So we're going to have a celebration.
We have to have a big party. And so funny thing is...
Who's catering? Remember that time we ate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Florence and the Travelers. Yes. Yeah, there you go.
We should do that again.
Big party. Yeah, we should. And it'll be good. 10 years. Yes. I just can't believe it. I was going to do it for 90 days. My contract was for 90 days.
And now look, 10 years.
Here we are.
There you go.
I know, 10 years later. I can't believe
it. They loved your accent.
Wow. I can say anything I want, right? I just can't roll my eyes yet. I'm practicing on the break.
We'll get you there.
Yes. So the question I was going to ask you is, we all know how much it costs to feed and look after horses and ride horses, exercise horses, all those things.
Which is a lot.
Right. So how does a polo player make money?
So
do you sell polo horses? Do you get paid?
Other people?
Yeah, but that's the least of your income. No, you really like polo is one of the few sports that an amateur is allowed to compete because we balance with handicaps, right?
Right.
So those are the guys that pay you to do it. And expenses and stuff.
Okay.
So you got to go out there and prove yourself while you have somebody in a way you're teaching. I've been very fortunate to play with a lot of younger people that are on the way up, and that helps you, that allows you to perform better.
Okay.
But yeah, everything is paid for, like everything.
Sponsored kind of thing.
Yes. So it's like a corporate, but it gets to play with you.
Okay.
And the monies are great and at the right level, right? There's guys that are still trying to make it and they charge whatever they can to get there. But once you have a name and a reputation and you have proven yourself, it gets easier and easier.
So there's purse money on the match?
No. There's money, it's a salary, and there's bonus.
Okay.
So you're on salary.
Your contract labor.
Yes, ma'am.
I get it now.
Yes.
And you get bonuses if you win?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
So it depends what you have arranged on your contracts and stuff. But yeah, it is. And so.
So when you score 21 goals in a match.
That's a pretty good.
The bonus should be very large.
That doesn't happen very often. But yeah, but that's basically what it is. It's a corporate that gets to work with you, to play with you. So you play with me, you have to pay me, but I'm going to make sure you do better. So it's a little easier for me to perform. Right? So it takes a lot of practice. And talking about practice, we just purchased a place here south of the horse park, about 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles. And we're putting a polo field, should be ready there in the next 3 weeks.
Wow.
Nice.
And so what I'm doing is I'm hosting people from out of the country like I used to, and out of state, like some of my New York friends, clients, with the sole purpose of training and visiting and having fun. You know, a big grill every Friday, every Sunday.
Have some
beer
carne
drinking,
asada.
absolutely. No, the right way. Somebody singing for us.
Yes.
So-
Mariachi or no?
No, not mariachi. Just like, you went overboard. That's just too many people. Just like a guy with a guitar, something nice.
Very nice.
To make the night go easier. But like the guys I used to bring from England or from Africa or New York State. You know, obviously they are busy in the summer, but in the fall, we've been playing in the horse park, which they're doing a pretty good job. And my idea is never to compete with anybody. We're still gonna go and join places and play in places like in the horse park and stuff. But it's more just to bring some of my good old friends.
Yes.
And just practice
To a familiar
and have a
place,
great time. You know, you wanna, you wanna drink beer, I'll have beer. You wanna drink wine, I'll have wine. You want champagne, I have champagne. You know, something else, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. But we'll do it. We'll do just. And that's exactly what we're aiming for. We started to build barns.
Friendship first.
Absolutely.
And I bet it gets a little competitive.
You know, I'm going to call it 352 Polo, like the area code.
352 Polo.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Oh, it's a
Isn't
nice
it?
name.
Yeah.
So it's just aim, basically for me in my later stage on the polo life, to keep training horses, but to bring people with me, friends, like really good friends. Just come and hang out, and we have a good time, and we drink beer, and we eat, like you say, a carne asada at the end, but in the ground, like the old days under a tree. In the ground with some Christmas lights hanging on. And everybody singing a tune, and just having a great time. I think that's very important. I think that has gone away from the sport of polo. It used to be like that. Even in the U.S. Open, every weekend in the U.S. Open, every sponsor, every team would have a party for everybody open. So all the people from here will come here. Big party, fights, whatever you want to call it. A lot of dancing, a lot of hooking up. But we lost that. The village is so in their own little world and this. So I'm here to
bring it together instead of have it separated.
I'm not going to say I can bring it together. I'm just for the people I know. I want to make sure we don't forget ever what real polo is about.
That is
real
great.
Polo is to play the game, and it's just a damn game.
Yeah.
It's just a game.
Right.
You know, you play against yourself. You didn't do it's like golf. Or you're gonna go and blame somebody, hit him with a stick, and then we're gonna go and sit down and say, "Hey guys, come here. I'm gonna make you either a hamburger, a taco, hot dog, name it, and say that was a great day." You know, regardless of, like we have to go back to the good
old days.
Yes, like the original
We
code.
should do that in a lot more ways.
Yes, we should.
Like
you know, at the racetrack, when we go over to the barns and we see all the people sitting on the other side of the track, the workers, the grooms, the people who live back there, and we see them and they're all having this lovely little get-together, sitting around, eating, drinking, have a little tent, just relaxing.
Yes.
So much nicer than the other side. Sorry, but for me, that's the world I love. I don't care about, I only go over there because I have to be there for the finish line, but otherwise I want to be there with the real people that are part of the whole thing.
Where the glamour doesn't count.
Yes.
Glamour is not a part of
the real people.
That's what I'm bringing back. I'm bringing sexy back.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
We have to break.
That
I
is
can't
so
believe
great.
it. That flew by.
Yes.
We actually have episode 2. Do we have episode 3? Episode 3 of Tuff the Foal to play for you, which is a great story. So we hope you enjoy it. I think it's so long that it cuts us out at the end. So I have to say happy horsing around until the same time next week. Whether you're in the horse capital of the world or not, or Calamarian County, Florida, we hope you enjoyed this last segment of the show. I want to thank both of my amazing superstar guests for being here.
You're welcome.
And
Thanks for having
me. He can tell you that we'll be right back next week.
Yes.
With his
rolling. From Ocala to the world, we'll be right back.
That was good. Enjoy. Thank you to our presenting sponsors of this half of the show, Palm Chevrolet and Larson Hay. Also, thank you to our supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, Equine Performance and Innovative Center, and Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used. The filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs. EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show, here with Jennifer Ireland and Dr. Alberto Rian from the Equine Performance and Innovative Center here in the horse capital of the world. We've been telling this story, Tuff's life, his beginning. It was tough indeed. Tough also for his mom, the ER nurse, dealing with all the COVID situation this year. But Tuff is here with us, and we're thrilled to say that is because of Dr. Alberto Rian and his incredible team at Epic. And Dr. Rian is telling us kind of about the treatment plan and what they did to save his life. So carry on and tell us some more.
Just a quick correction before we go on. You say he's here because of us, and I just want to make sure that I correct that a little bit, because this horse has just the ability to heal and get better is beyond what we can do, for sure, and obviously thanks to Jennifer. So I just wanted to say that before I go on. So when he arrived, I did tell Jennifer prognosis was grave. However, if she was not willing to give up and he was not willing to give up, we were not willing to give up either. So we kept it very simple. We kept it very basic. We kept with the original science that says that the horse with his problems is going to need antibiotics, going to need fluids to try to wash up the kidneys. What we added was oxygen therapy. So we added a hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy to his regimen. And another thing that we learned from research is that back in the days, we thought that the hyperbaric chamber was effective after 5 or maybe 10 treatments. But recent research actually shows that sometimes to be really effective, they need 30 or 40 treatments. Needless to say, he got over 40 treatments. And that's what started to make a difference, because everything was coming stable, but it came a point where he just say, okay, I'm going in, I'm going all the way, I'm not going to come back. And that was probably after the 35 to 38 hyperbaric chamber. Then, of course, the next scare is what will happen when we stop the chamber treatment. And sure enough, every time we would stop the chamber treatment, the creatinine would go up again a little bit. So it would start getting our nerves starting to tingle a little bit again. And then we kept playing that game and starting to wean him off slowly until finally we were able to stabilize it, and he was able to be without it. and then after that he went without fluid. Then after that he went from the ICU unit to outside, and then after that he went to a paddock to now being a horse. So that's in a nutshell.
That's amazing. And so how many months was that altogether?
He was in the clinic for about 4 months total.
Yeah. Well, he's 8 months, so he was there, because I have the dates. He arrived at the clinic. He was born on the 10th of April. He got to their clinic on the 27th, and he came here on like the 5th of September or something like that. So he's been home 2 months. So he was actually there till he was 6 months old. Wow. But he was outside the last couple months or so. So, but now he's a horse. He is getting to be exactly what he missed out on the first couple months. I mean, he plays with his buddies over there, and he's about to lose mom. It's time for him to go independent. He is going to start living the life of a real horse. And the stallion owner has been amazing. He called me at one point in Savannah. He's like, I want to give you another breeding to the stallion. And I was like, what? And he goes, I don't care what happens at this point. He goes, you've done so much. He goes, I want to give a breeding to you. And the mare's not going to have any more babies. She's going to be 22. So I have Tuff's sister, and I got her back, and Tuff's sister will get that honor. But so he is getting ready to be nominated to the barrel futurities, the ones that, Frenchman's Fabulous has 2 finalists in the NFR right now, and last year he had 3. So there's only 15 horses that are in the NFR, and he's it. So do I think he's going to go to the NFR? Don't know, but he's conquered everything that's been put in front of him, and things he shouldn't have conquered. I mean, honestly, it was as long a shot as you could have asked for him. When he texted me that night and said, I'm giving you hour to hour, and he sent me a picture of the labs, and I was like, oh boy. And I just thought, okay, we're going to do hour by hour. But at least I could know then that I had done everything, and then my gut would say, okay. But it wasn't saying it that day. He was walking around that grave and saying, Mom, I'm not ready for that. So he's got so much personality. He is a people horse. I mean, he wants to be in your face and get attention, but he's been like that since he was born. It wasn't just a part of the treatment. And I have to say that his crew made this so much easier for me. And the way they treated him like he was their own, and made it so much easier for me when I had to leave and couldn't be back to see what was going on. And yeah, they kept some of the bad stuff away from me, which I was okay, because I was already stressed. But I don't know. I think his future's very bright. So
tell us, when you were making that decision not to give up, what was the real deciding factor for you to keep trying to save him?
That phone call to this Krista and Danny, who is standing there looking at me saying, let's try, let's give him, let's do this ourselves, let's try until we see. And that's when I wanted, and I said, let me talk to Dr. Marsh, who I knew and I trusted. And I didn't know these vets. I had no relationship with them whatsoever, and it's nothing against them. Right. It's just I didn't have that trust factor where I could say, yes, I believe in what you're saying. And Dr. Marsh was saying, I would have had that baby in a hyperbaric chamber from the get-go. And I had already talked to him in the midst of his treatment about whether he thought what was being done was right anyway. So he already knew about him, and he got back right away and said, do it. And so I think between there's those 3 factors that really played a part in it. But honestly, I think he was telling me that day when we got him off that trailer, I'm not ready. And even, while I was waiting to hear from Dr. Lawn, which I was standing out there, and he's out there loving the sun and standing up, and I got pictures of him, and oh God, please call me back. Apparently it took a while, but it was all these things that just tell you that it's not time. And, we can say, well, it's not a good financial decision, or, you got to look at this like a business and you got to just let it go. Well, at my age, you know what? That's not what it's all about for me. And
clearly your heart was definitely involved. Dr. Adam, last words to wrap it up about Tuff and about Epic and clearly this miracle.
Pound by pound, definitely the toughest horse we have ever met. There's no question about it. And the same thing for the owner, the toughest owner we have ever met. Are very few the owners that would go the length that she actually did. And we have had horses with severe diseases who have made it, and similar poor prognosis. But what Jennifer went is mentally drowning. It's mentally exhausting, and she's tough. She's a tough one. She's a tough one. But it shows how perseverance, hard work, and a good team pays off, and how it also shows how sometimes we just have to think outside the box. Definitely.
So, tough horse, tough owner, epic veterinarians, epic rehab for sure, and a miracle story. We're so glad that Tuff hang on and that they didn't give up and gave him the miracle of life. And who knows, we'll probably see him at the NFR. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Please like us on Facebook. Please subscribe on YouTube to the Horse Talk Show TV, and check us out on all the social media and thehorsetalkshownetwork.com. I'm Louisa Barton, and I hope you enjoyed this incredible story.